We got a new scandal swirling around the embattled FBI nominee for Donald Trump, Kash Patel, and it has to do with his consultancy for a company that's the parent company of an organization that has been accused by even the Trump MAGA world of using forced labor in China to create its fashion products. Kash Patel disclosed that he has between $1 and $5 million that he earned as a consultant for a holding company in the Cayman Islands known as Elite Depot. But Elite Depot is just a code word for Shein, S-H-E-I-N, who's been accused by the State Department, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and even the right-wing MAGA America First Policy Institute as using slave labor, forced labor, in the form of an ethnic Chinese minority known as the Uyghurs in China to make their fashion casual product. And he's not divesting himself of that because he's told the Senate that he thinks it's a remote chance that he'll have anything to do with forced labor. How about human trafficking investigations, Kash Patel? Don't you think that's part of your remit as the head of the FBI? Or is it now apparent you don't know what the FBI does and you shouldn't get anywhere near the building, even on a tour, let alone be its director? I'm Michael Popok. I'm annoyed. I'm on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Let's dive into Kash Patel, Shein, Elite Depot, and what it all means. As part of being a nominee, all of Trump's nominees, as usual, had to disclose their financial entanglements, their balance sheet, their investments, and the like. This is so you can see if they're going to have a chance to be corrupted or what their foreign investments are. Now, Kash Patel, during his consultancy days, when he was a consultant, consulted for like Saudi Arabia, aspects of companies that worked in Russia, and this Chinese company that has been accused worldwide, including by the current Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, sorry for that, I got so excited I kicked my camera, of being human traffickers and enslavers to create their fashion products. But that didn't stop Kash Patel from giving his consulting services and taking shares in the parent company of Shein, S-H-E-I-N, in return. And he's not giving it up either. He told the Senate he hasn't completely vested yet. In other words, his equity, his shares aren't completely owned by him yet. They're being owned over time, and he doesn't want to give it up until they're owned. And that's after he's confirmed. But he doesn't think it's a problem. Relax, everybody in America. We're going to let Elon Musk make his own decisions about whether there's conflicts of interest. That's what Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, said. We're going to let Kash Patel take money from Chinese companies that deal in human enslavement. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The Uyghur ethnic minority has been exploited by the Chinese for years. It's so bad that even Donald Trump's own alt-right MAGA think tank, where all the members of his cabinet went to go live for a couple of years while Donald Trump was running for office, the America First Policy Institute, established by Stephen Miller. That's where Pam Bondi came out of. We also had Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, that was over there. Like half of the administration is coming out of the America First Policy Institute. They issued their own white paper, which was called Decoupling Genocide. In other words, don't use companies that have blood on their hands internationally because of human trafficking or forced labor or the like. And Shein was listed there. Even Marco Rubio, who's now our Secretary of State, has been adamant about not letting Shein go public on the Securities and Exchange Commission in America because of its human rights violations. So has Senator Tom Cotton, a big MAGA Donald Trump supporter. But now that Kash Patel owns shares in the holding company, everything's okay now. Is that it? So loyalty to Donald Trump and loyalty to his nominees overcomes your loyalty to the Constitution and the United States. Is that it? That's a rhetorical question. I thought you swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. You think it's okay to jeopardize American security by having a compromised person be the head of the FBI when he doesn't even know what the FBI does? And is refusing to divest themselves of these ethical conflicts and financial conflicts? Nobody in the Trump administration is divesting themselves of anything because Donald Trump told them it's all right. It's all right to both be ethically and financially conflicted and be a policymaker or a leader in the cabinets in Senate, and the Senate, led by the Republicans, is okay with it too because they're scared of Donald Trump. We're not scared of the Republican Party, are we? We have to hold these bastards accountable come the midterm elections. And I'm tired of calling them MAGA, because MAGA lets the GOP and the Republican Party off the hook. There is no distinction now. There's been a complete takeover, like a body snatcher, like that old movie where they put the pod in the room. Republican Party has been completely taken over by MAGA. So it's the Republican Party. Everybody that's got an R next to his name or her name or whatever name, at any level, municipal, local, state, library, board of education, dog catcher, I don't care. You make them pay all the way through the midterm elections, and get mad and get angry and get activated and go join your local party and go become a precinct captain and go work on with voter registration drives in states, in blue states primarily, but in red states too. Yeah. And don't give up. Yeah. And if they're going to want government this way with ethically conflicted people, they've never seen a financial conflict that they don't think is appropriate, that warps their policy, that warps their decisions. There's no other way to explain the chaotic, unhinged first few days of the Trump administration than it is so ethically conflicted and so compromised that it creates warped policy and doesn't even acknowledge that it's warped policy, that undermines American security, undermines our economic security, undermines our role as the global leader, as the leader of the free world in every way, shape, and form. And Kash Patel, the joke of Kash Patel becoming the FBI director, where he's holding stock in a company that he knows or should have known is tied directly to slave labor, is an affront to our American democracy, morals, and values. And make the Republicans, everything with an R next to their name, pay. Now, the way, in case people might be thinking out there, not our audience, but in general, might be thinking, well, maybe he didn't know. A, he was a consultant directly for the parent company. Trust me, he knows everything about that. B, it's been public. The Securities and Exchange Commission in 2023 came out against Shein. Marco Rubio did. Tom Cotton did. There's a special committee, a select committee in Congress that came out against Shein. And just if you want to just close the loop, this memo that I put up on the screen before from the America First Policy Institute about decoupling genocide, Kash Patel was a senior fellow at the Institute, as was Pam Bondi, the head of the Department of Justice. Come on. Don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. I won't. You're here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Take a minute, hit the free subscribe button. If you like this kind of content, tell us in comments. Hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 500,000 subscribers before our half birthday. It's not ego. I don't need the 500,000. I mean, it's nice. It is algorithm. The bigger we are, the bigger this network is that you want, that you need this channel, the more your voice is heard. That's it. We've got to first tell truth to each other before we can tell truth to power, and that's part of the journey here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.